Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be a 2,000 point game of my Marines up against some Necrons. So I'm not really that big into 40k, but my brother is, and he had this brand new Necron army he wanted to try out. And I actually expected him to have a whole bunch of experience, except for the fact that I guess with his new schedule, he has not played a single 40k game since the last time he played against me. So feeling kind of bad for him, and definitely want to be able to play, let him play his favorite game. So here we have a game with regular deployment, and it's the relic one. So that's the little objective in the center there, worth 3 points. And what I got going is I kind of broke out one of my old Marine armies. So really what's going on here is on the far left I got 2 dev teams of 9 guys with 4 missile launchers. The only thing that combat squatted was the other dev team, where on the left side I have the 2 last cannons, and here on the right there's a smaller group with 2 multi-meltas. Then really mixed in here is 6 troops of 10. 3 of them are going to be with a champ with fist, missile launcher, plasma gun. Other ones are with last cannon and melta. And in the middle there's also a tech marine master with a power weapon and a plasma pistol. Yeah, I think so, what it has. Anyway, that's what I got on his side. He has the Doomsday Arc on the far left, then some Immortals with the whole Tesla coils, a big huge unit there, the Scarabs, and then a big unit of the Warriors, and there's a little joined person there that has the Res Orb. Behind that middle building, he has a unit of 5 Lynch Guard and 5 Praetorians. He also has his Necron Overlord, or whatever you call it. Then there on the right, he also has another big unit of Warriors, just like the other one, 3 Spiders, and then that little fly-around shooty ship. So, really when I saw this, I just really plan to try and shoot them up with the majority of my units. My center 3 units will be moving up. I expect I have to engage those spiders and then beat them down. But for the most part, I just expect just the shoot them down. And this is a little close-up of what's actually going to really matter. I mean, you can get points by getting the first kill point, by killing the other person's basically general, and ending the game with a unit in their deployment zone. But really, with this thing being worth 3, that's what's really going to matter. You have to take it with the core unit though, so that's actually really good for me, because that forces his Necron warriors to get closer to me, because that's his only core units. So meanwhile I have all these different units that can hold it, so again, something else I see an advantage to me. So he gets first turn, he rolls kind of piss poor for his Lynch Guard and boss there in the back, so they can get through the building, but you can see his little Praetorian, or whatever they're called, jump up through. And man, I got a big wake-up call here, because that Doomsday Arc, for some reason, you know, I haven't played against the new Necrons, but I seem to have thought it was an anti-tank weapon, when all of a sudden it hit me with a big, huge, large blast that you know, was AP 1, Strength 9, all this crazy stuff, and here I was, bunched up Marines. So, if it wasn't for the fact that he rolled 1s like crazy, even with that, you can see I'm missing a huge chunk of my army there on the left there. So, that really hurt. A lot of shooting on the right really hurt, but at least the main thing is I didn't lose a full unit, so he didn't get the kill point. My first turn then, and my 3 priorities were to take that damn Doomsday Arc down, to really crush the Immortals, and also destroy the Praetorians, or as much as I could. Just, I mean, they're not really that bad if I just knock a few of them down. So, but anyway, what happened is that when my last cannons went shooting into the Doomsday Arc, I just couldn't really get it done. I couldn't get the pen, just knocked off a point there. And so what else had happened is the unit that you moved up on the left was first done so I could shoot all my rockets into the Immortals. And you should see there that with all 8 rockets, I only killed 2. And then after that, the unit did a run move to basically spread out so they wouldn't get decimated. I was able to wipe out those Praetorians, but otherwise, yeah, not really the effective turn I was hoping for. And meanwhile, I have a pile of dead Marines on the right side of the board. His turn then, his little Scarabs are going to be charging into here, and you can bet those 50 attacks are going to hurt. And after his turn, it looks like this. So yeah, that unit was destroyed. You can see I'm missing a bunch more guys, especially here well, just all over the place. He was just picking things off. The worst thing that happened, though, is, I mean, he's now destroyed that one center unit. He's moved up with his spiders and his Necron Lord with the Lynch Guard. So that really central objective there, I now don't have the units close that I plan to take it because I've been losing so much. So as far as the main mission looks, that's really bad. And if it wasn't just for that fact that my whole center was crumbling, I also didn't know that he also had another unit of 10 Immortals with the normal heavy Gauss blasters or whatever they're called. They're also behind the building. So now they've stepped out. They're starting to shoot at me too. And I'm just being outgunned, beaten at the mission, and this is just looking really bad. My turn 2 then, and the objectives here were again, Doomsday Arc. I had to really work on these scarabs, which was going to be easier because I had the flamer there on my Master of the Forge, and then also just put a whole bunch of shooting into that Lynch Guard. Again, they're really deadly, but you just gotta throw lots of shots into them, and they're gonna fail their 3+ saves or 4+ invulnerables, and they're gonna go down. Meanwhile, also the rockets on the left that can't really see them are going to be going after the Immortals. Well, I was able to basically stun the Doomsday Arc, so that's good. Didn't have to worry about it shooting at me. The Scarabs were pretty much destroyed. There's only a couple of bases left, so that's pretty good. But then, all the shooting that went into the Lynch Guard, I got the unit on the left rapid firing partly, the unit on the right rapid firing partly, then I got the multi-melta there, I got a plasma gun going, a rocket, and I killed 0. So that's going to be a pretty bad countercharge. His turn 3 is a bunch of charges here. The spiders going into my squad on the right, the swarm going into my little unit, a little snap fire had destroyed one of the bases, and then his boss is going after my boss, and yeah, you know what's going to happen. So, and if it looks like this, I actually killed one spider, so that was pretty good. The scarab thing is all tied up, and this is where I really learned about these stupid mine scarab control things, where basically I just have to pass, well, if I fail a leadership test on 3d6, I have to hit myself. So, yeah, that kind of sucked. My unit there is destroyed, my boss is destroyed, he now has the point for that. So we're now even on points, but as you can see, the field is his. My turn 3 then, and I decided to be a little bit ballsy, and as you can see from this picture, it started to work out. So, the one unit that was there on the left, guns it to kind of get to his other troop there. My last cannons were able to take down his Doomsday Arc, so that's great. And even though my missiles could have gone into the Immortals and really wiped them out, I need to get rid of his troops. So they fired into his unit, brought them down the best they could. The unit charged in, did a bunch of wounds. He failed his test, ran them down. So all of a sudden, his whole left side of the board has fallen apart. On the other side, I'm just throwing everything now into his other warrior unit, because if I can at least make sure that he can't get the primary objective, then I might have a good shot at this. Otherwise, the combats keep on going on. His turn 4, now he kind of surprised me here because he's now trying to work on my core units as well, and so his warriors came over to shoot at me, but they didn't take the relic. So I didn't know if he just wanted to be a little bit closer to get more rapid fires or what the idea was, but otherwise, the unit that had destroyed his troop, he went over there and slaughtered. That damn scarab is still holding me up, and then I've destroyed one more spider, and I'm down to just the one last guy there. My turn 4, I have another really good push. All the rockets from the left side completely wipe out the Lynch Guard, so that's fantastic. My other unit that was there moved up, kept on shooting into the warriors. I had another unit that joined in the combat with the spider. I was able to kill the spider, able to kill the scarab swarm, and really what I have the situation now that I have a ton of Marines over here ready and in perfect range to go after his Necron warriors. He has a little gunship on the right that's not really have a lot of luck, but otherwise he doesn't have a lot to counter me, so he'll be able to shoot, I'll be able to go in, should be able to wipe out these Necron warriors, and then all of a sudden it should be a race to try and kill his general so I can get that second point. His turn 5 then, he comes over, he does some shooting into me. He doesn't take the relic again, which I don't understand why he's not doing it. Maybe I don't know, maybe he's hoping he can block me from it, because if he takes it and I destroy his unit, then I can take it back from him. I'm not really sure of the understanding there, but really his shooting does pretty much nothing. A few dead Marines, but not much. My turn 5, and this was ridiculous. My shooting on the left was able to wipe out his immortals, so there's good news there. But all these Marines came over and charged in, except for the one missile guy you can see there that's trying to run up and be in position to take the relic. So I had a ton of Marines charging into regular Necron warriors, and sure, he had his silly Mind Scarab ninja-ness that made me attack one of my own guys, but with all of my attacks, I did not make him take a single save. I just rolled horrible. He killed 3 or something back of me, and then basically my big unit broke, as you can see them moving there, and then the 2 guys are stuck there fighting him. It was just a complete fail. And the other thing is, I was hoping at least the game would end now, so it'd be a tie, but it kept going. His turn 6, he has his one Lord come down, join the combat, and so he's able to kill that one, but otherwise things are pretty much a stalemate. I think I lost by 1 or something, and held, so that's something. And then my turn, basically everything on the left, all my heavy weapons moved up, hoping that there is a turn 7, I can throw everything into his Lord there to try and destroy him. My Marines that rallied joined back into the combat. Again, re-roll like garbage, and I think he either won or who knows what it is, but the main thing is that the game ended here. So in the end, it turned out to be a 1-1 tie. I got the first kill point, and he killed my general, but this was a complete and utter, just huge bunch of luck for me. Talking to my brother after, the number one thing that he didn't know is that you could grab the relic. He thought it was something like the flags and stuff, especially sort of like in War Machine, where you just need to be kind of within 3 inches of it with a core, and he didn't realize that a unit could actually touch it and take it. So that's just a thing where, if you had known that, his warriors could have taken it really soon. He obviously would have been pushing for it a lot more, and if nothing else, this is a game that really would have pushed the idea home, so he's never going to make this mistake again. The other thing that was kind of a mistake is on his last turn on turn 6, his little flying around shooting machine there on the right kind of moved back to be in my zone and to shoot at me, but he measured it to be in and then kind of changed the angle a bit just so that to make sure he'd have all of his shots in. Well, in doing so, he actually took him out of my deployment zone, so he didn't even get the line breaker. So by 2 ways, he should have had this. Looking at my own side from this, what I should have done is, other than my heavy weapons, which should have been more spread out, because what happened is after the first few turns of the game, that building was blocking all my shooting. I should have had 1 unit on the left, 1 unit on the right, or maybe even both on the right. But the main thing is that all my corps should have been running up to engage. I mean, sure, I can move up and rapid fire his combat units, but otherwise, I just need to get the numbers up there to charge his units. His scarabs, if I just would have thrown shooting into them and then engaged them with a few units, I would have brought those down. But in the end, I only threw a couple of units up. They were destroyed, especially because I didn't understand how the Doomsday Arc worked. And then all of a sudden, it was almost, for a while there, a sure win for him. It was really just that lucky push of that 1 unit that wiped out his left flank that kind of turned things around. So anyway, a good wake-up call for both me and my brother for how 40K kind of works. And I'm sure there'll be a few more in here coming up. So thanks for watching. Bye.